Okay, let me observe all the protocols. I only have 10 minutes left to speak. I was here on time, so I have no reason to apologize for being late because I was not late. I know that every politician, but unfortunately I did communicate that I need to leave. And I need to leave because I need to be in Cape Town, precisely because we are busy with our budget votes. So if I'm not there to make sure that the very aspects that are happening here can make it into social development budget, then I have a problem. So I don't want at any point to be like, I've undermined. It's one of those things that happen and you just roll with it. Let me congratulate NACCW for the hosting of the conference. I've never been known for saying what people expect me to say. And I don't think you expect me to say what everybody else has said. And that is why I'm here. So let me use this few minutes that I have to say a few words, to say the things that are very important and that I think needs to be further discussed, further processed, and by the powers vested in me as the Deputy Minister, at least I can say them. We want to thank sincerely the child and youth care workers that are out there every single day when our children wake up and every single day when our children go to sleep. Whether you call it life space or whatever you want to call it, but that, we want to say thank you. But we also, it is important that as we speak, we never forget that Isibindi is a government program. Because sometimes it is like it just happened. No, it did not just happen. There is a government that listened, that cared, that made the money available, that made sure the environment is created regulatory to ensure that this exists. So we must never forget that. Because sometimes we forget it. And when we forget that, it becomes very difficult for the minister and the deputy minister of social development to go and defend the program because the signature of government is nowhere to be seen. You need to know and understand that when partnerships work like they do in this case, it must not be a push and a shovel. Give Caesar that which is due to Caesar. That is all I'm asking. In the same spirit and in the same energy that as South Africans we criticize our government, we must in the same spirit and in the same energy salute this government when it does good. And in this case, this government has done good. Let's give it that. Because I've been in the space of child protection for a very long time. I don't arrive today or yesterday. From the time I led, and it was an honor and a privilege to lead South Africa's delegation through the review of the Convention on the Rights of the Child for 5 years at the UN. It was an honor and a privilege for me to be the first chairperson of the Joint Committee in Parliament that was responsible for the improvement of quality of life of children, youth, and people with disabilities. And it was a real honor and a privilege for me to serve as a member of the Portfolio Committee of Social Development and see through the Children's Act that had been stuck in Parliament for 10 years. Now, in that journey, we identify problems. And part of the problem was for us to see that we do have a gap in our services as we implement the Children's Act in terms of the protection of children. Because it is only through doing that work that we will forever aspire to do it better. An Isibindi program is one of those programs that the Department of Social Development is very proud of. We partnered with NACCW to say to them in 5 years, here is the money, please train 10,000 child and youth care workers on our behalf, and we will take the program. At that time, there was no profession like that in the Social Work Council. And in all that has been said and done and written about Minister Batabile Dlamini, we need to give her credit because she stood, defended, believed in this program. Because when we are people, we tend to harp on whatever it is that Henrietta did wrong. And we never say what Henrietta did right. So, we give Minister Dlamini the credit. Because if she, as the political head, did not believe in this program would not be here. And that is why when we talk about political will for things to happen, this program will stand as a testimony to that. Let me also say to child and youth care workers, I remember the day when we discussed the regulations and when we took the political decision to say we are registering and we are creating a new profession. I remember very vividly that day in cabinet and myself and Minister Dlamini trying to buy in for all the ministers and deputy ministers, the president and the deputy president, to actually understand how important this program is and why it must be recognized as a profession. It took us 2.5 hours. But by God's grace, Cabinet agreed with us. They did not only agree with us, they also made the money available. My humble request to child and youth care workers, to all the NPOs that operate in this space, on behalf of South Africa's children, child and youth care workers are a supporting profession. I'm hoping in my life stay in this portfolio, I would never have to deal with the issues where child and youth care workers want to believe they are the only ones in the space, or want to believe they are above social workers, or want to believe they are above anyone, because it is a chain, and every person that makes the chain is important. So I am hoping at no point will we find ourselves arguing about I'm better than this one and I'm better than that one, because I have seen it happen in the field. And when that happens, the very child we thought we all share and care about stands out in the cold, while the egos of those that raised their hands and said, I think I am the best person to look after and protect the rights of this child, push each other. So child and youth care work should never be about unemployment. It should be about the love for children and the belief for the protection and the inherent dignity of children. The minute it becomes about your stipend and your job, please do all of us a favor, you're in the wrong space. Usidedele yabona ngezulu bathi uthathe nje uqoqe ishwapha sakho kwangempela, ngoba kusho ukuthi logo obekuyi priority does not exist anymore. But we must also never forget that as we do this work, we must also listen to children. They must be heard. They must be seen. They must be included in the decisions that has a direct impact on them. Let us not also forget ukuthi ku-rough la ngaphandle. Kunzima. In this journey, we have child and youth care workers who have trafficked children. Yes. In this space, we have child and youth care workers who have used children to commit crimes. Nivuma ningavumi. Because we deal with this. It is a reality in our space. Tina, we have the bird's eye. I'm raising this because I want you, as you discuss in the conference, that we should not discuss like all of us. It would be nice if we all want the same thing. But in the space of children, this girl has seen it all. Angiz, I have not had it. I have seen it. So if parents or women can carry a child and give birth to them and be, it means angishiye lapho. Kodwa, let this conference be a space where we also get time to reflect on the real challenges. Part of the discussions as I conclude, because I need to leave, so you can have money to continue to do the work that you do. If I don't, there will be a problem. So, Integrity does not sold. You can never buy it in any shop. Ethical behavior must be a non-negotiable for a child and youth care worker. When we discussed this space, part of what we had to explain, which we did, was our intention is that this program, Isibindi, becomes a program that is going to be early intervention, early detection in the child protection value chain. Can it be that? Betunana. We said this Isibindi program is going to help us protect the inheritance of children. Can it be that? We said the Isibindi program is going to be a program that is going to ensure that we keep our siblings together. Can it be that? We said Isibindi is going to make it easy for children because of the working together of the social workers and the child and youth care workers to put children who must be in the foster care system faster. Can it be that? We said this program must be about supporting ugogo nomkhulu because of the experience that they have to come back a second time around as parents for another generation of children facing different challenges. Can it be that? We said it's about children growing up in their communities, in their villages, supported by those that knows them from the time that they were born. Can it be that? And when we said that, we did not expect a child and youth care worker to move from Limpopo to KZN, angasazi nesizulu, ne-culture, ne-tradition yaloyo mntwana. Because what makes a child is the ability for the child to also know who they are. So I don't expect at any point that this will become for further discussion. What it will be is we are implementing, children are being served. Yes, there are challenges, ngesinye isikhathi ama-stipends afika late and whatever. We're all dealing with the administrative glitches because we know that sometimes NPOs don't respond on time, verification. We're dealing with all that. Compliance must never stop the child to access the service. As compliant, our partners, let's comply with what the law says. Let us meet our requirements because together, us and yourselves will move South Africa forward, and it will take one child at a time. That's your slogan. One child at a time. We will be presenting the report of the successes of this program to Cabinet, because it's the same Cabinet that endorsed the program. And in brief, I want to say, I'm very proud of the children that have been under this program. I'm very proud of the child and youth care workers that have given it their all. They've laid a foundation. They have made it easy for us to continue to ensure that the program can grow, can reach more children, can attract more young people, and we can each other in partnership create a South Africa we want to live in. Ngiyabonga.